Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News, which is always myself, Five, and got my brother with me, Mr. Scott Tripp, aka the Crypto Beast. As you guys know by now, we like to take a couple minutes out of our day, skim through some of the crypto headlines, bring them to your attention, and see what you guys think about them. I'm one of the admins over here at BigONE. Scott is also an admin and handles all the social media for BigONE as well. But before we kind of get into our news today, we like to kind of get into a little segment where we kind of do the daily sentiment. And it's also brought to you by the Crypto Beast himself, Mr. Scott Tripp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Scott and see what the vibes are for the day.
Hey, I feel pretty good. It hit over 45K today, which is nice. I haven't looked in the last little bit to see what Bitcoin's doing, but just because I was a little bit busy today, but give me 1 second. It's sitting at 43.3 and it came down to 42 again. So, I mean, it's nice to see it going back up. We're getting close to that Friday to see what it does on Friday before the Super Bowl. And then, of course, we have the Super Bowl, which is going to be a ton of cryptocurrency ads and stuff. They're talking about how much actually is there. So it's going to be kind of interesting. So
yeah, tons of marketing and what we call that when you see things come up like bounce down to that 42 support and bounce back up. That's that bullish support that a lot of people look for reassurance, right, before they kind of dive in. But I think it was a good move. I think the sentiment, like you said, is definitely where it is, and I think people kind of feel like things could be great, especially going into the weekend since we've been experiencing a lot of weekend pumps. This starts to be a trend, don't ignore it. Sometimes I used to I always say it. Don't trust the weekend pump, but if the weekend pump proves itself to be do and do, and that's where you find value, then do your weekend pump and take your profits early in the weekend, and kind of sit it out for the rest of the week. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump straight into the crypto news today. The first headline I got is going to be coming from Cointelegraph. The headline reads: iOS jailbreak dev wins $2 million bounty for finding critical Optimism bug. So developers from the Ethereum Ethereum layer 2 scaling project Optimism announced that a critical bug had been identified in one of their patches earlier this month. The bug, which could have enabled hackers to create as much Ethereum in an Optimism account as they wished, was discovered by a white hat hacker in iOS jailbreaker software Cydia developer Jay Freeman. So Jay Freeman also tweeted, "Last week I discovered and reported a critical bug which has been fully patched in the Optimism PBC, a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum that will allow an attacker to print arbitrary quantity of tokens for which I won $2 million and $42 for." So $2 million and $42, sorry. So that was really cool. And they went on to say a little bit after that, some of the people from Optimism's core team, that we also alerted multiple vulnerable Optimism forks and bridge providers to the presence of the issue. These projects that all apply the required fix. So they went ahead and got everything done. It's funny that he said he collected $2 million, right? And oh no. So that was one of the biggest bounties that was ever solved. The other biggest bounty of all time is actually MakerDAO. MakerDAO had the bounty for their any bug detection in their software or their protocol for $10 million. So it was good to see that one of that white hat hackers got $2 million for successfully helping them with this. I hope it was it was straightforward and nothing else on the backside that they didn't disclose.
That's interesting. But at least you hope they don't do that. But I hope that it's nice that somebody actually took the reward instead of taking advantage of it and doing it the wrong way.
Yeah. For sure, right? Like $2 million is pretty cool. Like I don't know how people value it. Like even if you were to take like $100 million per se, right, and you couldn't cash it out legally, I think $2 million that you could cash out legally, and to say that you were able to discover a hack, it just kind of shows like a more like I guess a heroic approach to being a hacker, right? Where you don't have to go out and do malicious shit and then not be able to cash out. It's like you go out, you still do what you do and figure out things and not be malicious.
I'm going to talk to you about, couple interesting things, I guess. But this one for sure is interesting to me because I'm from here. But Tories push
Canada.
Trudeau for a plan to lure crypto investment. A conservative lawmaker wants Justin Trudeau's government to start taking cryptocurrency seriously, recommending his finance minister begin setting up a national framework to woo investors. So-called private member bill, the law Rempel Garner proposed Wednesday, has a low probability of being adopted by the government. That's too bad. The bill also comes amid increasing scrutiny of digital currencies in Canada due to fundraising in Bitcoin by some organizers of the truck convoy. I'm glad they did go Bitcoin route. It's kind of nice. That have been occupying Ottawa for nearly 2 weeks. Now, this is kind of interesting, and the reason why I want to say this, it mentions the convoy as well at the same time, and they just actually, the United States, Biden asked them to end the convoys at the border, asked the federal government of Canada to find a way to end it just today because they were blocking the Ambassador Bridge across from Detroit to I believe it goes to Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, but which I find kind of interesting because they're doing the same thing south in Alberta right now. They have the border blocked down there, and they're doing it in a few different places, and it's kind of interesting. They seem to be communicating very well, and they're very well organized, and it's taken the government for a run for their money in a way. So, and now they're using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to accept their payments, which was refused by GoFundMe. And that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. That's where decentralized platforms such as something that can accept donations for people that need it to fight tyrannical governments. I'm not saying Canada is, but it should be something that's there for people that need it when they need it most. And
It should be a choice,
I
right?
hope somebody starts that. So,
Yeah, I said it should be a choice at the end of the day, right? Like,
yeah,
it shouldn't be
GoFundMe
like
shouldn't have refused to hand out those funds, and then
like
that was
exactly. So there should be a choice. Like if GoFundMe was the people who said that they didn't want it, and somebody else was the company or the exchange or the platform that said they would allow it. I think there should be a choice. Like I think GoFundMe not accepting that was a stain on their reputation, and I think
huge.
and it gave cryptocurrency an edge because it was like here's a option where people wanted to do something right, where they felt like something was just and they felt like it was humanitarian in a sense, right? And it was going to be denied by a centralized party. And now here's a decentralized token that can say, you know what, that's fine, but these people still feel this way. This community still feels this way. Let them uproar.
Yeah.
This is power, man. That is the power of cryptocurrency, man. It's very liquid. It's very cool. To go over to my second article for the day, Scott, I'm going to go over to the Merkle.com. And the headline reads, Theta network price up 22% amid upcoming The Price is Right NFT drop and replays token launch. So this is going to be pretty cool. So launching in 2018, Theta is one of the leading platforms for licensed and authenticated NFT drops for exclusive partnerships with iconic artists like Katy Perry and more. Theta is more than an NFT marketplace. It also features a streaming platform that allows users to earn T-Fuel tokens for watching content and participating in live streams on platform. So in addition, Theta features its T-Drop token, enabling governance and providing future utility to the platform. Theta is also working on expanding the ecosystem with its TNT20 standard token, comparable to the ERC20 and BEP20 standards. Theta Network is one of the highest value metaverse crypto platforms, which has a market cap of 4.1 billion at the time of this reading. So this is going to be pretty cool, and it was saying that the price has actually been rising significantly over the last couple of weeks. It says celebrating its 50th season, Price is Right is launching its first ever NFTs in partnership with Theta Labs, featuring some of the most well-known Price is Right games, including Palinko, cliffhangers and punch a bunch. This is actually really cool. This has me smiling. So and then the Price is Right, one of the longest running game shows on television that airs on CBS. Such a popular show, teaming up with Theta and releasing their first NFT is bound to draw a lot of attention. The following significant news contributing to today's bullish momentum is Replay's announcement of a Web3 content payment and tracking protocol. So Replay integrated Theta's decentralized video infrastructure to introduce the industry's first blockchain-powered video tracking and payment platform. So this is going to be really cool. So the TNT on the Replay, I think it's one of those things where like you can see there's going to be a lot of things meshing in this, where they're taking on significant roles by getting something like The Price is Right. Like this show for me is a show that I watch from my grandma. Like when my grandma used to watch me, and I used to sit down there and to be honest, Scott, I used to try to guess some of the prices of things.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And it was like a thing, right? And it was cool. Like I know like it might be corny in today's age, but like to me, that was like very cool back in the day. If we got close, it was like I felt like I won too. I was like jump up and down, and like they had the wheel, and like it was very cool. So to see them like kind of take something like that where it has this like historic value in a sense, because it's one of those oldest running game shows, and to kind of NFT it, right, and to put it into tokenize it, I guess, in a sense, and give it a little bit more, and then to take something to fuel that token, and it kind of like, and if they tie this into a game show in the future, Scott, and pay people in cryptocurrency, this will actually be like, we keep talking about how NFTs are going to play this big part. I love to say this every time we get on this. NFTs are going to play this big part for getting their big brands involved. Here's another example.
Yeah.
No matter what blockchain is doing this, what they're doing it on, Scott, here's another example.
Yeah.
We talked about lottery tokens. Come on, man. Game shows, like, I don't know about you, man. I used to love the game shows. Like growing up, man, like I used to watch all like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, like
imagine the show about winning Bitcoins. Like people would be all over that. Dirty shirt.
Winning dollars. I was all over winning dollars on Wheel of Fortune, right? If they were offering Bitcoin, I would have been all over it too. I just wanted to guess the puzzle.
That's awesome.
That's funny that you used to watch the same, that you actually watched the right too, right?
Like I had a babysitter that used to watch.
Was it the old guy?
Right.
Was it Bob Barker, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bob Barker used to have a little skinny microphone. Like,
yeah,
it was really good show. It was a really good show, man.
And then there's like Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune too.
Vanna White.
Yeah, Vanna White. Yeah, for sure.
My grandma's favorites.
This next article is on Apple. I should have done it first when you were talking about Apple, but that's okay. Apple has announced it will be offering its new service, Tap to Pay, for iPhones later this year. The new feature will allow business and merchants to use the iPhone as a point-of-sale option via a contactless payment. The new service will use near-field communication technology and as now will include its signature Apple Pay as well as contactless credit and or debit cards and other digital wallets. Unless it's specifically excluded, this could mean that crypto users with Coinbase cards, Crypto.com visas, and the like would be able to link their cards and thereby cryptocurrencies to pay through tap to pay services. So this is huge, you guys, like with cryptocurrency coming to the iPhone and to businesses. It's super impressive. Something to definitely look forward to in the next little while. That's pretty bullish, kind of.
I'm gonna go ahead and tap the pay right there, man. I think that's bullish news as well, Scott. I think that's an amazing article. Anytime you can get one of the big brands involved, Apple and that's the two things that we just talked about. NFTs are going to bring those mainstream like clothing and like the big entertainment and things that you see. And the people that work software, you're going to see them jump into these payment roles and DeFi roles, like where you're seeing Starbucks kind of transition into its own bank by having a Starbucks card or something that you could pay on your phone. that pretty much allows Starbucks to take people's natural money and put it into a liquidity pool for Starbucks. Apple did the same thing with Apple Cash. Google did the same thing with Google Pay. And here we are, we're doing it with crypto. And this is so fun, man. Like, we talk about it a lot, but we don't talk about it enough sometimes. And I think it's a lot. It's a lot of things that happen that's similar to things that we see in everyday life that we haven't been able to like tie to. And well, I don't think not us, but like the general public, when they think when Lambo, and it's like, look at the things that's happening. Just just let the adoption take place. But nonetheless, I'll jump into my last article today. It's coming from Cointelegraph. The headline reads: YouTube sees the incredible potential in NFT video sales despite backlash threat. So there's been a lot to consider in making sure we approach the new technology responsibly, but we think there's incredible potential as well, said Neil Mohan. He said Web3 also opens up new opportunities for creators. We believe new technologies like blockchains and NFTs can allow creators to build deeper relationship with their fans. Together, they'll be able to collaborate on new projects, make money in ways never before possible. He also goes on to say, finally, we couldn't have a piece about innovation without touching the metaverse. So he kind of went into the metaverse, talking about the metaverse. He was like, we're thinking big about how to make more viewing more immersive. The first area in which you can expect to see impact is gaming. So where we'll work to bring more interaction to games and make them feel more alive. So I think they're going to be out. YouTube is definitely one of those platforms that's going to take advantage of digital currency. I mean, it's only right. YouTube is this on set, right? One of the great content providers it is in our modern day age. There was nothing like it growing up, and to be honest, there's nothing like it now. Anybody that's striving to do something like YouTube should always respect the party that started it, and they have an amazing platform. It gives a lot of people opportunity, as well as a lot of cryptocurrencies and exchanges, as well as everybody as far as content. To see them get into NFTs and do something as far as video sales, trying to connect people closer. I do think like when it comes to crypto, they're not late by chance, Scott, because of the impact that they can make bringing their audience over. But I do think that some of these things already exist. I think they're already running. I think they work, and I think YouTube seeing that kind of makes them get involved. And like I said, it's bad both. It's going to be looked at both ways, where you have people who've already created these type of platforms look at YouTube and say you're a copycat. Where you're going to have YouTube, it's like, hey, I'm giving you more adoption. I'm bringing over my audience. And again, we talk about this also. You always have these big companies coming in, bringing in their audience, bringing in their company standards, and that's almost your regulation right there in a nutshell.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how you feel about this, but I just read this article a little bit closer here. So the two people that did the hack for Bitfinex, or they're accused of
Bro, it's been so many funny videos about them. Like, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but it's been very, very, very entertaining online to see the lady and the guy responsible for this.
So the interesting article about this is they tried to launder this $4.5 billion in stolen crypto, and their NFT accounts have suddenly disappeared. The OpenSea accounts seemingly belonging to Heather Morgan and Ilya Lichtenstein, the husband and the wife, arrested by the Department of Justice on Tuesday for attempting to launder $4.5 million in cryptocurrency. Anyways, it goes on to say OpenSea is a marketplace to buy and sell, trade NFTs. DOJ complaints stated that between 2016 and present, Morgan and Lichtenstein engaged in a diverse array of virtual currency transactions, including purchasing non-fungible token NFTs, liquidating BTC through a BTC ATM, as their ways of like trying to make the money disappear from that crypto exchange hack. But here's my issue with it, I guess, is this lady made NFTs herself on her own persona, the one that she had made, and people were buying these the last little while and driving up the price pretty incredibly in the last little bit. but the DOJ, or it was either OpenSeas or one of those two, actually took these NFTs and deleted them on people that have been buying them. I think that's improper and not the right way of doing it. I understand that these people are charged with something, but in the same sense, if people are buying and selling the NFTs, that's out of that person's control. Now past the first minting of the NFT, I'm sure she's getting a percentage of the sale still. But in the same sense, you don't just take those away from somebody that's spent a bunch of money on it and then deleting it, making it worthless. Like there's no more data, there's no more metadata on it. So they're saying like the NFTs that he purchased, or the two NFTs that were purchased, are just gone. Like they don't know where they are. But that is OpenSea's overstepping its bounds and allowing government involvement where maybe potentially it shouldn't be. That's just my
Yeah, I mean,
opinion.
for sure. I mean, it's going to go both ways. I guess in the future, Scott, I guess that's a good thing in the sense of if you publish some content, right, and you did it in the Scott Trip, and then I posted it on my fake Twitter account or my fake YouTube account as Scott Trip with one P instead of two P's, and I had more targeted views. You would want your views, and you wanted to be accredited for those, right? Regardless of where they went, because it was your content, right? I think with this, having the government involved is already a no-no. So what they're saying is that the property was probably created using stolen property, right? So now they cease to desist all things involved. So they're going to shut down the NFTs, anything that they made as a purchase, because they have stolen funds from an exchange. I think that they could have probably, you know, not to go even far into it. I think they could have found some smarter ways to do things. But as I was saying before we got into this one, I was talking about some of the funny videos. Just watching some of the videos about the couple. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know about the couple. I don't think they really had their. I'm not even sure how they did. I don't know if doing a hack back in the day was solving an equation from fourth grade or something like. But I'm not sure how they went from that to some of the things that I've been able to come up with seeing online. I think it's been pretty, pretty documented, and there's been a lot of videos about some of the things that they were doing. It's just, I don't know, just kind of spooks me. It's like,
Well, and that might speak to that there's somebody else behind the hack that we're using them to filter out some of the money.
see, Scott, I knew we sit on different sides of the camera because thinking like I don't like putting things out there that I don't have nothing on. But man, when I tell you what, you call a spade, I call a spade as well, brother. I like the way you think. But without further ado, we'll jump into the last segment of the day. We're on a little bit longer than we usually do, guys. Sorry about that, but we're gonna jump over to Trading View, kind of look at some of the things that we love to look at. The total market cap for number one, Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance following that. So the total market cap right now is at 1.92 trillion. It's been kind of like, bouncing around a little bit. We got up to that $2 million stage. I think we had to have a retest, come back down here to the 1.7. I mean, sorry, I'm calling a little bit further than I wanted to, but 1.9 area, 1.7 to 1.9 region. You're going to bounce around there, kind of get some support, and maybe bounce up again. And this is healthy for the charts for everybody. Bitcoin dominance right now is 42.75. It's built on a rise. That's the only thing that worries me when you see this Bitcoin dominance go up. The only thing that sells me a little bit, Scott, is that the Ethereum dominance has settled back in at 19%. So even though Bitcoin dominance is rising, Ethereum dominance is rising as well. I think if they rise together, it's not as bad as where you see Bitcoin dominance take leap of bounds up, and then you see Ethereum dominance take landslides down. It shouldn't really be like that because there's a lot of other coins involved between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, but anyway, guys, till tomorrow, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow's Friday, so it'll be our last day we record before the end of the week. But other than that, guys, we'll be on Twitter tomorrow. If you guys want to come by, check out our live space. We'll be there at 12 o'clock p.m., 5 o'clock UTC. We're going to go back to our old time, so hopefully you guys can make it. I think it'll be a good time. And other than that, what else you got for them, Crypto Beast?
Yeah, I'm good with that, and just keep your eye on everything, and let's hope for some major positive weekend pumping. Who knows?
Let's go to 2.2.
All right. Have a good day, you guys.